morning, everybody. Hey, I'm solving kind of the companion floor equation for the one I solved yesterday. Now, if you're trying to solve this equation, x times the floor of x equals to 78 for positive values, for positive real numbers, it turns out there's no solution. And again, I did a video yesterday. It's kind of interesting. There is no solution to this equation if x is a positive value for all positive real numbers. It turns out kind of counterintuitively, there is a solution for all negative real numbers. That is the interval minus infinity to 0. Now, just to get your feet wet, in case you're not familiar, this is a little sneaky actually. When you're working with negatives, that's always bothered me a little bit. But let's just do an example right here. Let's say that we had the floor of let me get a picture here. I've got a mark here for you. Okay. Say we're interested in doing the floor of the negative value 11.2. Okay. And this does read the floor of minus 11.2. Now, according to this limit here, and this works for all integers, this is true because minus 12. Now, let me write this down first. I'll write the answer. I probably should just show you, but I'll just write the answer first. The answer is actually minus 12. Okay. Now, it's a little sneaky because, you would think that it would be 11. And if this was positive 11.2, the answer would be 11. But it's the greatest integer less than the input argument. Well, the input argument is minus 11.2, so the greatest integer happens to be negative 12. So it makes sense and it doesn't make sense in the same breath. Now, but you see, this is because minus 12. If you just look at the lemma, it fits right into the little lemma I have above there. Minus 12 is less than, it's just the geometry of the number line. It's backwards, so to speak, when you're for the negative numbers. All right, so minus 11, right? So you see, folks, you got to think it's a little strange, because when I first saw this, when somebody said, what? But this is the truth. The floor of minus 11.2 is minus 12. Okay, now let's clear this out and let's just get back to solving the problem here. Okay, so with that in mind, you try to pick some numbers that would be close to, this is kind of like thinking what's the square root of 78 sort of, except this floor creates a little bit of a wrinkle. So I tried negative 8. 8 times 8 is 64, sort of close to 78, right? But notice that based on the definition of what we mean by floor, that would force x to be in the interval minus 8 to minus 7. Okay, or if we take the floor of x to be minus 8, then x's that would have that floor would be between minus 8 and minus 7. Okay, so now notice what happens here. I multiplied through by negative 8 and see we switch the inequality here. Remember, if you multiply through by negative 8, it reverses the sense of the inequality here. And so we end up with 56 is less than or equal to x is less than 64. Now, what's the import of that? Well, 78 is not in this interval, right? 78 is certainly bigger than 64. Now, if we try the same thing with x equals negative 9, I won't talk you through it. We get 72 through 81, okay? So 78 up here, which is what we're looking at, okay, is between 72 and 81, right? So towards that, we just take this equation right here, you see, and we replace this floor. This floor, I said, this happens when the floor of x is equal to negative 9, right? So you simply take the negative 9, and place it right here. And then when you solve for this, you divide through by 9, of course, and you get x is equal to minus 78 over 9. And that reduces to 26 over 3, which is fairly close to 9, right? So that's sort of believable, right? Because 9 times 9 would be 81. All right. Now, just as a check here, let's do a check here. Let's write down minus 8 2/3. Okay. Times the floor of minus 8 2/3. Y'all, we're checking the answer, right? Okay, minus 8 2/3. Okay. Are you comfortable? And y'all, what I'm doing here is this is what a lot teachers are the worst in the world about checking their own work. But again, y'all, I just took this alleged solution here and I'm plugging it in here and here, right? So now what would this be? Now I don't know what the best way here. This would be what 24 20 minus 26 over 3, folks. Minus 26 over 3. Usually it's easier to work with improper fractions, right, on these kind of problems, I guess. Don't really know if that's the truth or not, but so we'll, whoops, looks like my Wi-Fi is starting to cut out here a little bit. Okay, now, so 8 times 3 is 24 plus 2 is, so that's 26, right? Now, what do we learn about this? We bring it to the greatest integer that's less than minus 8 2/3. We see, folks, that would be minus 9, right? Okay. Now again, y'all, this is the check. Now notice here that minus 9 over 3, okay, is negative 3. And negative 3 times negative 26 would be equal to 78. Yippee. So you see, it does check. It does check, folks. You see, we were trying to do x times the floor of x equals to 78, right? So that's the answer, and that's the only answer. So I hope you liked that. I thought it was interesting. There was no solution on the other interval. I mean, when you're working with positive numbers. Let's see if I can go there. It turns out here there was a solution, folks. When we're dealing with positive numbers, there was a solution, or it was not a solution because of this information right here. The answer was the empty set, actually, when you dealt on the positive side. So hopefully that's of interest. Let's go back here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so again, folks, this is the final answer right here, and I hope that helped you.